Like, do you have any manuscript in existence of that Injil?
Yes.
Wait, yes? You have a manuscript of it?
Well, if you mean by manuscript, you mean a physical copy?
Yes, that's what a manuscript is.
Okay.
It's a handwritten copy.
This has to be the worst attempt to debunk the Islamic dilemma that I have ever heard. Simply put, the dilemma is this. The Quran says that the gospel is true. The gospel contradicts the Quran. So either the gospel is true and the Quran is false, or the gospel is false and the Quran is still false. So in this video, you're going to see Muslim apologist John Fontaine try and deal with this dilemma. Now, not only do I think his approach is absurd, but it actually makes it even easier to make the case as to why you should never ever trust Islam over Christianity ever again.
So you're refusing to answer. That's fine. Let's go back
Not
to
refusing to answer. I've answered.
Let's go back. Let's go back to the Torah. So the Torah, you've acknowledged that we have no actual manuscripts of the true Torah. We have lots of manuscripts of the five
Same as Christianity, yeah.
Of the Pentateuch.
Yeah.
Just to be clear, you're saying we don't have any manuscripts of the Bible?
No, I'm saying you have no original manuscripts of
that was
the
not
Torah.
my argument. I didn't say.
No.
Question. When did I say original? When did I say you need to show original manuscripts?
No, I'm saying that the Islamic concept, as you asked, do we believe that we have original copies of the Torah? No, what we have is Allah's re-revealed in Revelation to tell us about the original Torah, and that concept is not the Pentateuch.
Okay, so here's what John's basically saying. He's already conceded that the Quran does say that God revealed the Gospels. However, his point is that that Torah and that Gospel are not the ones that we have today. That Allah revealed them and then they were lost. But then he re-revealed them later to the Prophet Muhammad, and then he re-revealed them in the Hadith. That's why we don't have any manuscript evidence of them. But that even widens the Islamic dilemma for a couple of reasons. Just keep them in mind as we proceed.
So do you have any idea when the Torah was lost? Like, did it last, did it disappear immediately after it was revealed to Moses? Did it last a couple of centuries?
Back to the preservation, back to my presentation, I should say. Mm-hmm. As you've seen, I clearly explained the Islamic position that it was totally substituted, not corrupted. The Bible is not an altered torn Injil, David.
If he can't be trusted to preserve the Torah and the Gospel, even though he revealed it, why would you trust him to preserve anything according to the Quran?
It's a substituted book, the one you spoke about in your previous
debate. It's a substitute for a book that you don't have.
No, the one you acknowledged in 55 minutes into Daniel's debate. You know, the Bible is a substituted book. You know, so that's what we spoke about in my PowerPoint.
So not only is he saying that the original Torah and original Gospels that Allah revealed were lost and then re-revealed at convenient times in history, now he's making a claim that the Torah and the Gospel that we have today are complete substitutes, that they were just man-made and invented, and the original ones have completely disappeared. Now, all it takes is this one question from David Wood to expose why that makes zero sense.
Okay. The Bible is not an altered.
So the substitute lasted, and we have evidence for the substitute. The real authentic one that Allah said he gave as a guidance to mankind didn't last.
The one that original one he gave to Moses
as a guidance to mankind
did not last, and you also acknowledge that because you don't have any manuscripts, or you don't have any tablets.
We have lots of manuscripts of the Bible. We have lots of manuscript of the Torah as the 5 books of Moses. We have a ton of manuscripts. Thousands from the time of Moses. New Testament manuscripts
from the time of Moses.
No, I didn't. I'm not the one saying that. I'm not the one saying that. I'm not the one making. I'm asking you. We have manuscript evidence for various things. You're saying things, and you're acknowledging we have no manuscript. That's an important point.
No, we have. What do you mean manuscript? What do you mean? We have these hadith are recorded in books in Bukhari, in Muslim, in the hadith, and these hadith.
Yeah, that's not what we mean. That's not a manuscript of the Torah. A hadith saying something is not a manuscript of the Torah.
It's not just that we don't have the original manuscript of the Gospel and the Torah that John's referring to. We don't have any. Zero, none, nada, pip. Whereas with the New Testament and the Old Testament that we have today, there are thousands of manuscripts. It's like this. You might not have the original file that the debate between John and David was recorded on, but you can see on God Logic's channel the debate. And then you can see this video with commentary on it and then portions of that debate. And then somebody else might do a reaction video and someone else might do a video. And over time, you have thousands and thousands, so that even if the God logic debate is lost, eventually you can compare all of the different video footage and essentially reconstruct the original debate. So you don't need the original file, the physical file, in order for you to have the text accurately transmitted. This is how the Bible we have today was preserved.
So the Torah was re-revealed, and we don't know exactly when the version was re-revealed that was eventually used in Medina, but also the Injil was revealed to Jesus. You believe this was put in a book form, and that it eventually made its way down into Medina, even though we have no manuscripts of it.
Now that sounds ridiculous, but pay attention to the response.
Manuscripts are not necessarily a method for proving something existed, David. As we know that, you don't have first century manuscripts of the New Testament. The point we're saying here, David,
but we have thousands of manuscripts in the New Testament. In other words, how did you get from here? How did you get from here to here?
Complete first century manuscripts.
No, that's not. I'm not saying anything about original. I'm saying any manuscript at all. We have thousands of manuscripts of the Bible in Greek and thousands of manuscripts in Latin and so on. So we have thousands and thousands of manuscripts. I'm asking if there's one manuscript of this gospel.
The more manuscripts you get doesn't prove it. It doesn't prove it.
I'm just asking for one.
Now, John has dug himself like a massive hole here, because not only does he have to try and somehow prove that there was this other gospel or Torah in existence with zero manuscript evidence, but he then also has to prove that the Bible that was in circulation around the time was not the Bible that was being referred to. Now, David has really easily exposed the flaws in his argument with just a series of simple questions. And God Logic is going to ask a final question that's going to expose just how foolish this approach really is.
Like, do you have any manuscript in existence of that Injil?
Yes.
Wait, yes? You have a manuscript of it?
Well, if you mean by manuscript, you mean a physical copy?
Yes, that's what a manuscript is. A handwritten copy.
I'll let John answer this, and then we got to move forward.
That's what's in the Hadith, David, because you accept written Hadith.
Hadith is not a manuscript. Hadith is a manuscript of Hadith. It's not a manuscript of the.
You have second, third century.
We don't have Hadith.
We
don't know the Hadiths as manuscripts of the New Testament. We don't.
I love how God Logic as a moderator couldn't even control himself at that point when he said that the Hadith are manuscripts of this supposedly Islamic Torah and gospel. It's absolute nonsense. Remember before he said there were no manuscripts. Now he's saying, oh, we do have manuscripts. They're in the Hadiths. And the Hadiths that came hundreds of years after Muhammad's time, which are just sayings and stories of him, are supposedly manuscripts or copies of the original Bible or the original gospel and Torah that were written. Make it make sense. Now, Jesus said he is the way, the truth, and the life. So if you let anybody who rejects him as Messiah talk for long enough, they will expose themselves as not being followers of the truth. And the overwhelming abundance of manuscript evidence is one of the reasons we can rely on the Bible. If you want some more reasons, check out this video. I'll see you there. Peace and blessings.